It's Week 10 of the NFL, and we've got the Vikings superstar running back. He should be a busy man out of the backfield. It's the Vikings and the Cards on Sunday night.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Valley of the Sun at State Farm Stadium here in Glendale. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And it's a pretty good return here as they'll get this up to the 29. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
I guess we're going to have to nickname him the thrower, aren't we, or something like that.
After last week?
I mean, man, you're talking about over 400 yards throwing the ball. The running backs and everyone else may be looking at him like, hey, don't forget us. And he'd probably just tell them, listen, you want to get involved?
Go out.
Go out and catch some passes. I'll make sure you touch it.
And they'll run the option to start the drive. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. In motion right, that's Metcalf. Lawrence. And his throw here is incomplete. You look at this defense for the Vikings. And they're a unit that struggled some against the run, no doubt, coming in 25th out of 32 teams.
And this group talks all the time about wanting to be better, getting stronger against the run. And to me, it all starts up front. You've got to win the line of scrimmage in order to play against the run very well.
They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Now Lawrence. They'll set up the screen for Hall. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 11 and a Cardinal first down. It's a throw again as Lawrence. Eluding the pressure right. Past the 20. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football. But how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Now Lawrence. He'll find Metcalf. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. Ball at the 6 here as they work with a 2nd and 2. The slot man in motion right. He's going to handle it on the touch pass. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. Here's Lawrence. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but that's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field. And he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
Instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. So here come the Vikings with a long field ahead of them. And they will be led out by a man in his sophomore campaign as the quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
He finds his man, complete. It's Stevens. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 7 catches, 73 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
They'll run. Here's Devon Achane. There he goes up the right sideline. And finally brought down at the 43. And now they'll stop play here, at least momentarily. A member of the Vikings in some discomfort after that last play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He finds his man, complete. That's Stevens. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and that'll make it second down. Off play action. McKinley toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Daniel Bellinger, the intended target that time. And it's 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. You look at this Arizona defense. Well, they've been very good this year against the pass, currently holding on to a top 10 ranking at number 10.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, it'd easily move into the top 5.
And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. The Cardinals offense and their quarterback coming out for their second drive. And he's been a real threat in the red zone and beyond. As you take a look at the NFL leaders in rushing touchdowns by a QB, you'll notice he's worked his way into the top 5 at this point of the season. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense, because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And that is incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. Rush coming, and he's taken down. That would have set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Back to throw. McKinley. And his throw is incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
Able to get away. Dancing to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Lawrence will throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 46. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Outright to Smith and Jigba. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. 3rd and 5. Lawrence to throw. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
And that is no good. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
Minnesota now ready for their next possession. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Throwing to start the drive. McKinley. That'll be complete to Dobbins. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Less than a minute to go here in a scoreless 1st quarter to this point. Now H.N. on 1st and 10. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. The Vikings at 6 and 3 on the year. But Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
And that's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And with it, time has expired on the 1st quarter. The Vikings with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Looking to throw. McKinley. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
They'll run. Achane. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be second and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on second and goal. Back to throw. McKinley. That's to the pylon and incomplete.
Boy, that was lockdown coverage there. He's scanning for someone to come open. That was great work to blanket everyone. And in the end, he's just got to throw it away.
They'll look to throw on third and goal. Touchdown, Vikings! A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Vikings post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this second quarter. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, second year in the NFL. I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Arizona's offense back out and ready to go. They are back over the 500 mark for the season. Got there with a win a week ago, their second straight victory.
Well, they've definitely gotten better as this season has gone along, and from what I can tell, they know their roles. Everyone understands how they fit offensively, defensively, and this team now has an identity, and they're playing to it and playing well.
From the 34-yard line, here's second down and 3. Oh, and they sent the man in motion too late. This is going to be a delay.
Delay of game.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Still second down.
They are pushed back 5 yards by the delay of game, 2nd and 8. Here's Lawrence to throw. There's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And now 2 yards to go on third down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. A quick target here, complete to Metcalf. It's a gain of 3, and it gets him the first.
I like the call on 3rd and 2. They were geared up to stop the run. I like the fact they just hit him quick. Little slant route. All about timing there, partner.
Yeah, the timing, everything well executed. And complete to Smith-Njigba. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Boy, everything clicking on this drive. He's scored before now, and that throw, maybe the best of the bunch. This offense is really humming, and they pick up another first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They go play action now. Lawrence. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Operating from the gun. Lawrence. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. So nothing doing there. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
It's now 3rd down and 1.
Operating from the gun. Lawrence. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
The Vikings offense and running back Devon Achane making their way back out. And he's made his presence felt in the passing game throughout the season. You look at the NFL's leader in receiving yards by a running back. His name right there at the top. Throwing to start the drive. McKinley looking right side, and it's intercepted. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. So the ball changing hands on the interception, but meanwhile here we do have an injury on the play. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Throwing to start the drive. Lawrence. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot. In motion right, that's Metcalf. A snap to Lawrence as he taps this forward. And the Cardinals are going to be set up with a first and goal. It's a nice run there. Gets him down to the 6-yard line. From the gun, it's Lawrence. A throw left side taken in by Kmet. So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and it's second and goal. A line of scrimmage once again, the 5, as they get ready for second and goal. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Trevor Lawrence, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Cardinals are an extra point away from evening this one up. And maybe that was just a case of completely overlooking the guy holding the football.
It certainly felt like it, didn't it? Because on my checklist, okay, as a defender,
QB's last.
running back, fullback, heck, jet sweeps nowadays. Before you even get to thinking about the quarterback might actually keep it.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. And now out comes Minnesota. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
To the right side and intercepted. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The football back in the hands of the Arizona Cardinals. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
And he's taken down inside the 30. Give him 16 yards there, and it's a Cardinals first down as well. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another catch for him there. This one good for 11. First down. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Operating from the gun, Lawrence. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. From 17 yards out. And the Cardinals have taken the lead. A nice connection there, finding his target, and that'll put 6 up on the board.
Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated it on the sidelines, right? Perfect route, a good throw, and the defense, they had no answer for that right there.
McPherson on for the point after. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and the Cardinals cap it with a touchdown. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. That 7-0 lead of theirs is short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula to get them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they get this game tied up.
2nd and 10. Looking to throw. McKinley. To the head linesman. I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Now, here's the call. From the gun on 3rd down. McKinley. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance, too.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Cardinals offense and Trevor Lawrence getting set for this next drive. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here. On play action, Lawrence. A quick throw there is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Lawrence. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Oh, they would have gotten the conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Back to throw. McKinley working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. They go play action here on 1st down. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
That's a really nice job there by the coverage, understanding that they're in a high-stakes situation. If he doesn't make a play on that ball, there's an excellent chance it ends up either as a touchdown or as a nice gain downfield.
And that was almost intercepted. Could have been his third pick of the game. Instead, it's going to bring up a third down. Off the play fake. McKinley. That is caught. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 33 yards that time. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. Right hash mark, a 42-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And with Lawrence's arm, they may give him a shot to let this thing rip downfield. We'll see. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll start over at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, where you see the final score there. The Armadillos made it through the first half of the year unbeaten, but they suffered their first loss of the year. They fall to 8-1. From there, we head a little further north up to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And as you see, they were losers earlier this afternoon. George Pickens, 2 touchdown catches in the victory. And then finally, we wrap up the week with a good one on Monday Night Football between the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets. In the first half, we saw a strong outing from Trevor Lawrence. He had a touchdown both in the air and on the ground to help push his guys into the lead at the break.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Vikings offense and their running back getting set to go once more. We take a look at the league leaders in receiving touchdowns out of the backfield. And his numbers are superior to the rest of his peers at this point in the season. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
2nd and 3. They'll swing this out wide. Here's Achane. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. He'll get it here on the jet sweep. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Now 2nd and 5. Looking to throw. McKinley. Binds. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far. You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
So here are the Cardinals to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Lawrence. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. From the gun on 3rd down, Lawrence. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there. That brings up 4th. Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. The visitors' offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And it's been a rough night at the office for him. He's been more of a liability than an asset throughout the contest. And this offense is having a hard time overcoming his struggles to this point. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag, punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Off play action. McKinley, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Cardinals have got it, going the other way. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball because you're going after him.
The Cardinal offense takes back over. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever...
That to the sideline, and it's intercepted. And the Vikings are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. So a nice play defensively by the rookie coming up with the INT.
And that's a late-round pick right there, making a first-round impact. And a lot of these day 3 corners, they end up winding up on special teams and sub-packages and even on the practice squad. But he's really made an impact on this defense, and he comes up with the interception there.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. Yeah, both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Charles, you talk so much about quick change plays. There's one right there. You get the turnover, and boom, hit them with a big one.
And defenses plan for this all the time. They work on it in practice. But in the middle of a game, when that quick change takes place, oftentimes guys aren't as focused as they need to be.
In motion, the tight end. Achane on the counter. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, Hard to get him started again occasionally.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Back to throw. McKinley. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the first down. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be 4th down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Cardinal defense is going to get the football back. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave them with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
at the 50-yard line.
Here they go with Godfrey. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down.
Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown.
Jackson Smith-Njigba,
44 yards.
and the Cardinals are able to extend their lead. So it takes them just 3 plays here to find the end zone. And you remember, of course, this was all set up by their defense.
Yeah, they got the stop on 4th down, so I imagine the offense said to their defense, thank you very much for this great starting field position. And like you said, 3 plays later, they're in the end zone.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that makes it a 21-10 game. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive.
And it was capped off by a Jackson Smith-Njigba touchdown catch. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again.
And this group has suffered far too many self-inflicted wounds thus far as we run through some of the mistakes. It's darn near impossible to win in this league when you're turning the ball over at the frequency that they have.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And a drive that stalled out last time. Went for it on 4th. Didn't get it. How does that translate here? I would imagine momentum's with the defense.
Definitely with the defense, because anytime anyone goes for it on 4th down, that's telling you as a defense that you can't stop us. We don't think that you can. And when you actually do, that may put a little dent in the confidence of the offense the next time they hit the field.
Yeah, we'll see if they can bring that pride the offense this go around.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Off the play fake. He's got a man complete.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
A gain of 32 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 38. Looking to throw. McKinley. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Called a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Off play action. McKinley. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. 1st down on a pickup of 11. So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. They'll look to throw here on 1st down.
This one thrown underneath to HN.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. Off the play fake. McKinley. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Off play action. McKinley. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
That's Drew Sanders who got in there and dropped it.
That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continue to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. A 10-yard completion, but still now facing 3rd and goal. Back to throw. McKinley. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Taking it in from 4 yards out.
And the Vikings have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a 1-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
They'll try and throw for it. That's caught at the 1. But he will not get in here. He's stopped up short of the goal line, and this will remain a 5-point game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. 1st down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
So fourth quarter, a nice run there to start this drive. Charles, what do you think the split will be here between run and pass?
Well, partner, I think it'll lean towards the run, but this is also not a time where you just totally do that. You still have to possess the ball, move the sticks, and keep the clock moving as well. So they'll run their offense, but yeah, when they have a chance to run it, they'll do that a little bit more.
Lawrence. He's got his target. That's complete.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That'll put him close to 100 yards receiving. He's at 98, and he's got a first down.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
Metcalf motions left. Now Lawrence.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Here's Lawrence. There's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Lawrence going to throw again. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 38-yard line. With that catch, he goes over 100 yards receiving on the night. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 38.
Lawrence will throw.
Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. There's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet.
That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
To throw again is Lawrence. Over the middle, he's got the hook up to Whittington.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably run this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down.
At the 19-yard line.
Now Lawrence. He finds Smith and Jigba. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
That's good for the Cardinals. First down. 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line.
Okay, let's make some good calls, offense.
Here's Lawrence to throw.
Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3.
From the 3, 2nd and a yard.
Godfrey on the carry. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Give him 2 yards. That sets him up 1st and goal.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game.
So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal as they search for what could be a game-sealing touchdown. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. On the ground, Godfrey. And that play's not going to get him in as he stopped right at about the line of scrimmage. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal.
Lawrence.
Fighting through pressure, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
So a man shaken up on the play, and this is certainly noteworthy. It's Trevor Lawrence, the quarterback. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
Here we go, a big play in a tight game late. They're going on 4th and goal. They'll try and run for it, and he'll wind up being knocked back to the 3-yard line. They stop him up short on 4th and goal from the 1. And the Vikings, they come up big down near the goal line. So that's a decision that could loom pretty large here. They go for it on 4th down, but come up empty.
But I actually like the call, and the reason? It shows me a head coach has faith in his team overall. First, on the offensive side, thinking they can pick it up, but also knowing that he has faith in his defense that if they don't, they'll go out there and stop them. I like the confidence he showed.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Here's 2nd down.
He'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. Back to throw.
And that one nearly intercepted. That would have sealed it. Instead, it'll be 2nd down.
Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
This crowd turning up the decibel level. It's 3rd and long.
He's back to throw.
Dobbins with it.
And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the 1st, right around the 15.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. Down to a knee. Here's the Cardinals look to let the clock roll.
We all just got a heck of a show, partner. This was a close game for a long time. Close at half, close down the stretch. Home team finds a way to get it done. A narrow victory.
Yeah, they finished with a flourish, didn't they? Because there are times where each side looked like they were the better team out there. And the outcome's in doubt for much of this game. Every snap seemingly more important than the previous one. Great effort from the guys visiting. But in the end, how about those guys in their home stadium finding a way to win?
So for Arizona, it's an important win in terms of staying in the postseason race as they move to 6-4. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll